All right, we're going to get right into the texture on the fingers, and I've already added fingernail 1, 2, and 3 layer here, plus an extra fix layer, but I've added a texture 1, 2, and 3 above that wrinkle 4 layer. So I'm going to go to the texture 1 layer. Now I made a selection of the darker value. I went from darker to the highlights. So if I can just, I don't know if I have shown you this. I think I did at the start of this, but I don't remember. So I went from the dark texture here to the one that is beyond the dark texture. So this is the second darkest. This is the medium value. This is the yellowish areas here, which I might not even need. These are the real highlight areas, which I'll just gently paint over. And then I had the thumb area here. Oh, that wasn't part of the texture. So let me go back to the command click on the dark one. Let's just click over to our layer for the texture and hit Command H. Now over here in the swatches palette, I have my dark arm texture. Now I'm going to click the foreground color and see where it is. It's pretty close. Now I wanted you to see if I can keep it reasonably sized. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, let me go down just a little bit so we can see. I want to get everything on the screen if I can. Such a small working space. Well, okay, I'm playing like teeter-totter here. Okay. Little bit bigger, Mr. Sorio, just a little bit. Okay, oh boy, it floats, doesn't it? And I don't want to. Okay, I'm having trouble doing one little thing here. Okay, I'll leave it like this, I guess. Okay, see if I go Command minus, it goes too far. So I want to just go up a little. Okay, that's enough. Or okay, that's enough. So let me take the B. Well, that was fun to do on screen. Let's now go like this, and I'm painting my darks on texture 1 layer. So look at how I'm coming in like this, and I'm putting in the dark value. So I'll show you where the selection is. See it? So over here, it's going to put in some of that dark value right there. Now I'm going to have to Gaussian blur that, and I'm going to have to use my artistic license to really lay that in here. So let's come in, to make it right, to make it blurred better. Now let's come in here and do this. Let's come down here and do this a little bit more. Let me see where it is. It's right through here. Okay, that's looking real nice. Let's see if it's right there. Okay, it's right in here. It's right over here. Okay, we're going to go to the texture 2 layer, and I'm going to click to my texture 2 color. Now I'm going to go to my the second dark. I have the second texture layer. I have the second dark channel. So let me Command H it, and I'm not going to blast it in there. I just want to put it in there real gently. Gosh, I really want to zoom in so you can get a better feel of it and see the clicky copy. All right, first I'll show you the clicky copy. Okay, so there's the clicky copy. Now let's turn it off and let's see if we can start. Look at, wow, boy, did that ever work. Okay, let me zoom in. Let me Z back. Okay, look at the clicky copy and look at these beautiful little wrinkles. I'm turning it off so you can see that I can actually use that value and paint in those beautiful little wrinkles. So that is what gives it the unbelievable clarity and the realism that it needs. Okay, this is now coming in beautiful. It's on top. I'm doing a good job. I don't know why I'm saying all that. Let's see where it is here. I have to hit Command H and see where it is here. Okay, so it's right through here. Okay, good. Let's see where it is here. I'm hitting Command H so I can see it. All right, it's all the way back here. Let's see where I'm going to paint. Let's see what's going on here. Let me hit Command H. Okay, and now let's turn on the clicky copy. Okay, that's good. So now let's put it in here. We are going to definitely have to Gaussian blur this by at least 2 or 3 pixels. Oh, that's gorgeous. Just wonderful. That is really good. Okay, so let's come through here. Now let me see if it's in the actual arm as well. Let me hit Command H. Just a little bit. It's just a little bit down this part of the arm and down this part of the arm. But let's make a larger copy of this. Okay, let's now go in here. I want to see if it was right in this part of the finger, which it wasn't. Now let's go to the next one. So I'm going to texture 3, and then I'm going to need one above texture 3, maybe even 2. I'm going to go texture Command C, click, Command V, 4 lights or light. Then let me go 5, light 2, which will probably be my highlight layer. So let's go down to texture 3. Let's go down to the bottom here and let's grab the third one. Boom. Now let's see the third color, which is this color here. That should be number 3. That's it right there. Okay, good. Let's hit Command H, and now I hope on this finger, this being the middle finger right here, let me make the brush smaller, and let's see the texture that I'm looking for. I want this texture. Hopefully I want it. If I don't get it, I'll get it somehow. But yes, it is now coming. Look at that knuckle. Look at the gentle texture coming over that knuckle. Let's do this knuckle. Oh my gosh, that's really turning out nice. And that color is so good. Okay, and that's really getting the meat. Look at how real that is looking right there. Okay, I could have drawn every one of those by hand. Wow. That's all I have to say is wow. Okay, so let's paint in that value across here. Let me see what that little dot is. Oh, she has a little boo-boo on her. I shouldn't put that boo-boo, or else that's a skin freckle. So let's go through here. Let's come down through here. Let me zoom in and show you what we're doing here. Okay, that's nice. That's good. And I'm only gently putting in that tone. Let's come through here. Oh, look at how that is even getting some of the fingernail darks. Wow. Oh, that is incredible. Wow, that is beautiful. Okay, that definitely is going to need to be Gaussian blurred a little bit. Let's make the brush bigger, and I want to move in on this arm, and I just want to get the arm in one area. So let's just get that texture to come up on the arm right there. Okay, that needs to be Gaussian blurred. That's good. Let's come down this part of the arm here. Okay, look at how beautiful that is looking. Command S to save the file. Let's go to the highlight layer. Let's go to the light layer, and let me go. I'm going to try the lights. I'm going to try the yellowish light area. I'm going to Command click it. I'm going to hit Command H. I'm going to click the color that it told me that it wants to be. Let me see where it is. And now I don't want to blast it in here. I just want to bring it off a little bit. Okay, I think, oh yeah, on top of the fingers, that is looking really nice here. Yes, it's coming in here. Let me see if it's on the thumb area. Yes, right. Watch right through here. Oh my gosh. Let me Z back. Can you tell, see where it's supposed to come in on the top of these highlights here and everything else that's in that area? Look at how it's bringing off that total realism that, I mean, you have to say that trying to paint without this texture would be pretty ludicrous, wouldn't it? It really would. Let's see if we can bring off a few of these wrinkles here. Okay, let me see how I'm doing here. Oh, that's really nice. Now let's come down the center of this arm and see if that's going to help here. So let me go back here. Okay, yes, that's looking good. Let me hit Command S to save. I'm going to take away that little boo-boo in a little while on her finger. And let me come through here. Let's come through the thumb area. Okay, now go to the next highlight layer. Let's go to the highlights and hit Command H. And remember, 2 pixel Gaussian blur or 1 on each of these texture layers and the highlight layers. So on the highlight layers, let's grab this lighter value and let me see where it is. So we need to come off with this highlight here. Okay, that's good. Look at how nicely it brought off that finger right there. Okay, let's make the brush smaller and run it up this part of the finger right here onto the knuckle. Okay, that's really nice. That highlight is really good right there. Let's run it up to this first finger and see how much highlight we get and off the fingernail. Okay, I'm going to have to clean up that fingernail on the edge. Obviously it needs more darks in there and it needs more lights. So let's now come down the middle of this finger and see how that's looking. Let's see if it's any there. Let me hit Command H and see that there's some right back here. That's a little too strong, but it's okay. Gaussian blur should take care of the strength of that. And now let's come down through this area. It's coming off real nice right there. Look at how pretty that is. Come up that one. I'm just painting straight down the base of that hand. And now let's paint this. And let me come down the front of that hand. Arm. This is an arm. I know a hand and an arm, that the difference is. Okay, and now I want to bring off that highlight area, but not yet. I might need to do separate texture layers for just the highlight area, okay? So let me hit Command S to save, and let's see if that is just a little too strong right there. I'm talking about this little part right here. The hair is going to cover that up at any rate. Let me go back down here and see if I can put a little bit more of that texture here. I'm seeing where Command H is. Command H is. Okay, it's on the back of this finger right there. I should have... Whoa, that's too strong. Okay, just back off, Mr. Sorial. That's too strong. It needs to be Gaussian blurred. So, there is your hand so far. It's really close to what it needs to be. Let's hit Command S to save the file. And now I'm going to bring off that light value that we have here, and then I'm going to need to put a texture layer over the light value. So let's go into a highlight layer. Let me go arm highlight or light. I put an arm highlight layer all the way to the bottom. There it is right there. Let's go back up to where the arm is. I should put that path. I should call that arm highlight. If I'm showing you good practice, then I'll be a good boy. Let's take the time to put up the arm. Whoops, I named the wrong thing. Let's go up here. I already had it named arm highlight, but I want to put it where the hand shape is. Let's go up a little bit higher. Come on. Okay, I'll leave it right there. I want to make a selection of the arm and intersect the highlight area. Now I definitely have the highlight area there. Now if I'm painting on that layer, I'm going to go to this value with a bigger brush and I'm going to flood it in there, and I'm not going to worry about it. So you're seeing me flood it in there. Now I want to grab the lights as my highlight. The color I'm putting in there is this pink right there, not the brighter color, but this pink. So let me go down in magnification and just flood it in there. Now obviously it's going to look way too harsh. So when I click away, you can see, boom, shlam, it is way too harsh. I don't care. I can soften it with a Gaussian blur. Okay, I'm going to turn that layer off for a minute, and then I want to use that same selection on the arm, and I'm going to grab Color Range's version of this real light value here. Now I may need to increase it. That means, watch this, I'm going to hit Command J, I'm going to hit Command L, and I'm already going to pump up the contrast in there. Now do you see how it just got all those really nice highlight speckly things? So let me make sure I'm still in my selection. So let me make a selection of the arm, go to Color Range. Let's grab this light value right there, and then I'm going to leave it on 80. Is that good, Brian? I'll leave it on 80. I don't think so. I think I should have gone down. So I need to go back to Color Range, and I need to grab this value. I need to zoom in. I need to grab this value right there. And then maybe I need to go down in size so it's not so prominent. Okay, I think that's got the highlight. It's got it almost everywhere, I bet. So I should save that as arm highlights. Whoops, I called it arm highlights. Okay, now I got it saved. I should make sure I'm on the right layer, so this needs to get clicked away. This needs to get clicked off. This needs to go Command H. While I have it on the screen, I'm going to click this on. Let me see if I've got that on there. Okay, so one layer, I'm going to hit Command C on Arm Highlight, put in a new layer. Put in a new layer, double click it, and I'm going to say Arm Highlight number 2. And then I'm going to, with the selection active, let's go grab the color. So let's go to here. Let me go grab this light value. Let's make it lighter. Now let me go down in size and magnification, a little bit bigger. Let's turn this off. Let's make sure we're selected here. And now I'm going to put in the highlight. Now all we have to do is make sure we Gaussian blur the bottom layer and fix it. So let's go turn off that one. Let's click to the arm highlight layer and add a layer mask, but click back to the image and turn it on. Now let's look and see where that little arm is, wherever I put that little reference. And I'm going to hit the V key. We're going to move this down to here, and I'm going to zoom in. So now that I can see it to my right, I'm going to make sure I click back on the proper layer, which is that layer. Click on the canvas on the image part. Let's go to filter, make sure no selection is active, then go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. And let's really Gaussian blur that, move the screen over so I can really see a Gaussian blur on that to about, that's pretty good. Now, whoop, that's too much. That is pretty good, except I want to make it tighter right in this section. So right here, I want to make it slightly tighter. So I need to click to the layer mask. I need to make a selection of the arm highlight. I need to inverse it. So now I'm painting on the outside. Now I need to guess on what that feather is, and I say that's 10 pixels. So let's go Shift F6, 10 pixels, hit the return key, hit Command H, hit the B key, make your brush smaller, Mr. Soriel. You're only painting at 8. Now please watch how I Gaussian blurred to the most of it, which was this feather here. Now look at how I'm going to layer mask back to the least of it. So you see how I am now removing that. Now I say 10 pixels is pretty good. I probably can still Gaussian blur the whole thing a little bit, or I could even Gaussian blur the mask. Okay, so I'm painting on this, which is now probably making it too strong. Okay, so what I'm going to do is deselect, leave the mask selected, go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur the layer mask. But look at, I can play with the Gaussian blur on the layer mask till I get it back to the exact right there, a little bit back, right, a little bit forward. Okay, 12 is good. I'm going to save the file. Now let's turn on the upper layer, and you can see how I have the nice highlight. It needs a layer mask as well, and then I need to just kill that highlight area stuff on this layer mask just to put a little bit of that texture in. And now I have the arm just about finished. Okay, I need to work on the fingernails, so I need to bring off this is what I need to bring off. Oh, I didn't show you that I was going to Gaussian blur everything. So let me deselect with this on the screen to about this much right here. I want to turn off all my texture layers. So that doesn't need any Gaussian blurring. Those are my paint layers. So let me go click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, click down to texture 1. With me selected on texture 1 layer, I'm going to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur by 2 pixels. Just 2. Now I'm going to click up to texture 2. I'm going to try to get closer so you can maybe see on the screen. Let me put the swatches palette over here. I want you to see if I hit Command F on textures 2, then I go to texture 3 and hit Command F. Now that should have softened. Go to texture 4, hit Command F. Let's go to texture 5 and hit Command F. Now what that did was that softened all of those texture layers until they feel really good. Now let's go to the layer here, which is the clicky copy, and now I need to now put in the really beautiful darks, the really pretty ones. So I might just go I'll let the application help me. So let me go to Final, Texture, Darks. Now I want to see if my Final Texture Darks channel was good enough. So let me go to Command click, that's neck dark, it's shirt dark, arm dark. So it did, but it didn't. Okay, I want to really make sure that I push it. So here is how we do it. We deselect, we click up to the clicky copy, we make a selection of our arm, we go and we hit Command J. Now I am going to up the contrast, so Command L. Please watch how there's going to be more contrast here. So I click and I make it incredibly darker. I click, well, not incredibly, but enough. Now I click and I make it a lot lighter. Now when I click OK, I obviously don't want to use that color. So I need to make a new selection of it on this leveled off layer and really click that. Now that's at 47. When I click away, I hope it grabs all of these darks that are in here. I think it also grabbed that dark right along this area here. Now if I'm unsure, I could go deselect. I know it's a pain, but let me Command click it. Let's go back into color range and let me zoom in and let's grab this dark. I want that dark right there. Now let's see if the selection looks a little different. I think it does. Okay, so let's save that selection as Finger Darks Final, because I think it's going to be. Let me hit Command H. Let's turn this silly, definitely throw it away because I don't want it anymore, and because I don't want to have it. I don't want to even use it in the file. So now with this off, I should be able to approach those darks that are in the finger down here. Now what I wish I would do and take the time to do it is deselect, hit the V key, right hand click, move this up so we have a decent picture of it. I'll move this over so I can at least get that in here and just go down one magnification right there. Now let's make a selection of that again. Let's hit Command H. Let's make sure in this palette we push the dark. Now, meaning I made to red black. Let's hit the B key. Let's go smaller on it. And now I really want to get closer on this. Okay, let's do this. Now look at how it's getting, see, it's got too much. It didn't get the right values. It did not get the right values. Let me Z back. I'm not happy with what it got at all. I think it would have done very well. Let me Z back until that's gone. And let me Z forward. All right, now let me try it on this finger. Okay, that looks good. Let's try it on this side. And let's come across here. See, that's not looking good at all. So I'm going to go take all that away. And we are going to go, I might have to hand do this because I did isolate all of the fingernails out. So this is when I'm going to go to my fix layer. Actually, I have a fingernails 1 layer. And I believe that I actually laid in, let me see if I actually had, I know that I drew out the fingernails. Let me see if I have them. Skin, arm, okay. I know that I did. Let's go up here. Fingers, arm highlight. Oh, hand shapes. I think I put them under hand shapes. Yeah, well, that was silly. I have hand shapes here, and I have hand shapes here, and hand shapes here. So I have 2 sets of fingernails here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I have, I'm going to have to use the finger paths to isolate them out. So I have the fingernails here. Whoops. I know I saw them a minute ago. Right there. So I'm going to inverse them. So let's go inverse them. Let's hit Command H. Now, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show the clicky copy. Let me go down in my brush and grab this dark. Now look what I want to do. I want to come on that side of the fingernail and I want to darken it. Now do you see how I'm doing that? And now I can play a back and forth game where I should have the other one on the screen. So what I'm going to do is make the layer palette smaller, move the layer palette lower, so I can kind of get this on the screen so you all can see what I'm doing. See how I'm going to come across this fingernail and come down that one. Now I'm going to have to fix that. What I should have done is take that and intersect it. I need to zoom Z back once more. I have a selection. I'm going to hit it. I know this is a lot too for you to understand. I'm going to hit Command H. I would actually like to use my finger here and subtract the fingernails from it if it's possible. So I'm going to go back up to where my fingers are. Fingers 1 and 2. Let me see which. Okay, there's the finger right there. Now if I show where the fingernail was in here, if I subtract this set of fingernails out of the finger, I can simply paint right around it. Now that should stop that color from going too far down to that finger, and it did beautiful. See how I can move across this finger, and now look at how I'm actually able to put that dark all the way down that finger and really do the final darks on that finger that are really nice. I'm not doing the fingernail yet. It doesn't need much, but I'm doing a pretty good job. Now let's see if that also helped me with the little finger. Yes. See how by doing finger 1 it also does finger 3. So I can come in like this, come down this fingernail and increase that dark, then come across here. Look what I'm doing. Come across this finger and now get a little bit more dark. I'm putting in the final little tad bit details to really make the fingernails come off well. Now let me hit Command H and see something. Okay, I need to increase the darkness on the front of that fingernail right here. Look at how pretty this is. Oh my gosh, look at how nice that is. See how I'm actually bringing off that fingernail in the front of that finger? That is really pretty. Now let me do the same thing on fingers 2. So let's make a selection of fingers 2 and subtract out the fingernail. Whoops, wrong one. That one. Now I'm actually painting on the middle finger. So let me hit Command H. Now let's zoom in and you can see in and around my layer palette, I want this to get darker and this to get slightly darker. So see how I'm painting with that dark right down that finger. Let's come across this end of it and just up that way and then just a little bit this way. Now if I just give this whole layer a 1 or 2 pixel Gaussian blur, that's going to be really pretty. That's going to be really beautiful. Let me hit Command D to deselect, show the silly layer, which is fingernails number 1, click on it, no selection active, so I deselected it. Let's go to the filter and let's blur that by 2 pixels. Now let me turn this off and show you the preview. Look at how, oh my gosh, can you see on screen how it's, let me zoom in. Can you see on the screen how it's going from here to here? Look at how beautiful that is. And that's the gorgeous part of this. Now what I need to do is to bring off the highlight on that top of that fingernail so it really starts to look good. And it's got a little purpley color on top of the finger. I haven't even done that yet. So on fingernails 2 and 3, I could definitely do that. But I think this movie has gone on just a little long, and I think we're getting really good. I don't want her to look like she has dirty fingers, you know, but the brights on the finger will add that little spark of tone. And here so far is the stuff that we're doing, which I think is very pretty. Let's hit Command D to deselect, Command S to save the file, and I will see you in the next movie, and we'll bring off the light values and some of the pinks on the fingers, okay? Yeah, I'm happy with that. So soon.